Hey, Jared.
Hey, Josh.
What's a police partner's love language?
Oh, let me run through them. Let's see. Is it one of the five?
No, I'll give you 8. It's not one of the 5.
Or something along one of those? All right.
No.
I don't know. Handcuffs.
Nope.
Is it love language?
Sarcastic backup.
Oh, sure. That too.
I did find another one. What's the hardest part about being a cop?
I don't know.
Your partner never lets you drive the squad car with the music you want.
Very relevant.
Very relevant.
Very relevant.
Hey, welcome back to Screen Time Film, a podcast where we discuss a director's filmography. We're currently on Adam McKay, a few films in. And today we're going to be discussing the other guys.
Probably about halfway through because he doesn't have that many.
Okay.
We're probably about,
okay.
Yeah.
Halfway. So Jared, at age 11, I audited my parents. Believe me, there were some discrepancies and I was grounded.
Yeah. Hate when that happens.
So my name's Josh and this is my co-host Jared.
Josh, now you're asking me to mask my emotions because of how it makes you feel? That I will not do.
Oh man. And well, you know, I'm a peacock, you gotta let me fly.
I know.
So
that's one of the
classics.
Let's go to themes and messages. That's of the movie. That's what it is.
I
need
do
to be like a
I also
peacock.
like shake your dicks, this pissing contest is over.
Oh.
It's so great.
His nod afterwards is perfect because he's like, yeah, that was good.
Like I did.
He's like, I know that was good. Oh yeah.
All right, so the other guys, 2010, PG-13, an hour and 47 minutes. 2 mismatched New York City detectives seize an opportunity to step up like the city's top cops, whom they idolize. Only things don't quite go as planned.
Certainly not.
All right, directed by Adam McKay, writers Adam McKay and Chris Henchy, which I looked at.
No Will Ferrell.
Yeah, no Will Ferrell, which is a change, and then this Chris guy. Maybe a few other episodes of TV shows, but it's not like he's written a bunch of films, so it's like kind of a one-off.
Well, good job on him.
We got our same cinematographer we've had for a while, Oliver Wood.
Yeah,
and then composer John Bryan.
Yep,
and
he's the Paul Thomas Anderson guy.
Yeah,
for some of his films, earlier films.
And production costs. What do you think, Jared?
I think
Maybe
this
pretty
is
close
going to
lately.
be. I don't remember if I was last time. Was I? I don't know.
You've been more
with these so far. Yeah, I guess so. This one, I might be way off, but I think this is going to be pretty high just because of how many the cast, but also it's shot like an action movie and has a lot of car chase, explosions, stuff like that I imagine brings up the budget a lot. So I'm going to say 100 million.
Right on the money.
Really?
Yes.
Right
on the money.
I'm on a roll.
He's on a roll.
100 million. Okay.
No nominations or wins in the Academy.
That's a shame.
Yeah. All right. So our cast is, we got Will Ferrell.
Crazy cast.
Top of the list. Then, before anyone else, Derek Jeter.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure IMDb, they don't list them in alphabetical order. They list them in like importance or like I don't say importance the right word, but like how they would be listed at the end of the credits, like in a.
Well, normally in the credits of a film, it's ordered by appearance, which that wouldn't be this either, because we have different people that we see first.
So I don't know why,
Yeah.
but and then we get Mark Wahlberg, but I just thought it was funny that Derek Jeter was second on the list.
That's great.
And then Eva Mendes,
Yep.
Michael Keaton, Sam Jackson, Dwayne Johnson, Rob Riggle, Damian Wayans, Brooke Shields.
Brooke Shields.
Yeah, she's
what?
Yes, she's in there as another one that tries to hit on him.
Oh yeah, that's all the hot women in this are in love with him. It's not his ex. Yeah. Oh, is it one of the? I was trying to think who she is in this. I don't know.
She's sitting next to him when they go to the Knicks game.
Oh, okay.
And then she's like, "Oh, can I get your number?" As they like run
Okay.
out. Yeah.
I didn't realize it's her. Wow.
And they keep giving him tickets to do things instead of
Yes.
they try to find. Yeah. That's about all I had. Like,
yeah. Did you say Michael Keaton?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a few more
his
like cameos.
ex-wife and that both the ex-wife and
the
her
guy.
husband,
Yeah.
They both look familiar.
Oh yeah, they're definitely.
But like I couldn't.
I don't remember the actors' names, but
yeah.
yes, they are for sure. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you say you didn't have anybody else. All right.
No.
So overall thoughts after? I mean, we both seen this before.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I've seen this one a lot. This is well, actually, I kind of you've probably seen this less, so actually, I'm kind of curious.
It's been a while since I've seen it for sure.
Yeah, because I've watched this as recently as a year ago.
Okay.
So I want to hear you first.
Well, I mean, I thought it was funny. You know, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it holds up.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I didn't care for Mark Wahlberg's performance in most of this. Like, I feel like it was like forced in a bad way. Like, I mean, like over the top forced.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, but like not good. Like, I feel like there's a way to do that and it's where it's good. And he just came across like just a little obnoxious and like a bad.
I agree. I think he's really
I didn't
great.
remember that. Like,
Do you think he's great in some points though? Because I think sometimes some of his stuff
I think
he
when
does.
it's more subtle and he's like,
Yes.
and it's more personal. Like when he's good.
Yeah.
Just with the like anger issues stuff that like he kind of or whatever that where he's just like it doesn't work. I think.
I also like the line, "I'm a peacock, you gotta let me fly," is a great line, but he uses it too much in this. I think.
Yeah. So, and some of that maybe is the writing, but yeah. Anyway, so I mean, overall, yeah, it's fun movie, but just like that was something that stood out to me that I didn't remember from previously.
Have you seen this a few times at least, or do you?
Yeah, I definitely have seen it more than once. Yeah, but it's been a while since I've seen it. Yeah.
All right.
How about you?
I love this film. I always have. This is one that I think is probably one of my favorites of all of Adam McKay's films.
Okay.
I've always loved this one. Also, I think it's criminally underrated because normally it's like the ones that everyone talks about are his first three. You know, Anchorman, Talladega, and Step Brothers.
True. Those are the ones that do. This one is like the more.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Because I mean, maybe like you know, some people don't love it quite as much. I know you still like it for sure, but I don't know. I've always just, and I think the humor in this, and I'll point out a few things later, is just like, it is more specific, but I don't know. I just like, it always gets me. Also, I think it's it. I have down my notes for raw thoughts. Yeah, but anyway, I think this is, I think this is underrated as and it's one of my favorites of his films.
Nice. All right. Well, let's get into some of the things that we liked.
Yeah.
And, I just think in general, I think it's clever to have the main cast be like the idiots at the police station and not be like the characters that The Rock and Samuel Jackson play are like what you would normally expect.
Yeah. They're the epitome of the other guys. Yeah. They're the, similar to that, my first note is I just think it's such a great, I know, decision for this film to start with those first two people and kill them all within like 15 minutes of the film. Like, I just think that's a great point. Cause you think like to your point, they're such huge actors. You think like, oh yeah, they're going to be main people in this whole thing. Yeah. So I like that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good setup. And then also it's a little bit, you know, kind of bleeds into cinematography I have a note about too, but just, you know, and then it making it feel like this massive blockbuster action movie
Yeah.
in those scenes, especially that opening scene with these two big actors, and you're like, oh, this was, and I kind of, I mean, I don't know that they did this. I didn't actually look at any trailers, but I would kind of, if I was, I would almost want to market the movie.
Maybe they did, yeah.
As it's just the scenes with those guys, and like it looked like some buddy cop action movie with Rock and Sam Jackson, and just,
I bet
nobody know really who's actually.
Yeah, that would have been awesome if they did that. They might have, but I bet either way, I bet they at least did a trailer for this movie that was just them and made it, the tone of it, like just an action movie and not look like a comedy at all. Yeah, just them.
That would have been funny.
Yeah.
I guess you could, even if you did that, you still could show some scenes with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, just being just like extra people in it, and just be like, oh, but you would assume. Anyway,
I think, it would be cool just to market it this as an action movie.
And of course, the way they die, so awesome. Like it's just I mean, again, just like the scenes in general, the action scenes are just kind of almost poking fun at the ridiculous action movies. Mm-hmm. Like then it's the bulletproofness and the indestructibleness of the action stars, and they just like, and you for a second you're like, are they really gonna, because you're just like wait a minute, and then they just die, which makes it funny. But
yeah, and I love how Mark Wahlberg, or like during the funeral scene afterwards, he's even like, there wasn't even an awning there for them to land. Like he's questioning it more because it doesn't make any sense. Like to your point of being bulletproof, like they're just like, yep, let's do it. Let's make this jump. We know we can do it. Also, the VFX for that actually looks surprisingly good. Like all of them falling and how they landed, like it's pretty real.
Yeah. A lot of the effects in like his action scenes and stuff they do
looks good.
Yeah, for as ridiculous as it is,
even now 15 years old. Yeah.
Because was he like slingshots the one car out of the bus or whatever? I mean, like,
oh yeah.
I mean, some ridiculous over the top action scenes, but they look good.
Yeah, they did.
So then, let's see. Well, I like the all the stuff with Alan and his wife, and then his ex.
Dude,
that stuff that was genius too. Like besides flipping it, the normal script of like who's the leads, then you have like this nerdy stuff, and he's got this like hot wife, and of course, but that's another. I think it's like almost they took it too far in the writing with Mark Wahlberg's comments. Like it was like eventually he just kept like, it was like just.
Oh, he kept going on and on.
Going on and on.
Well, he's just in disbelief. He's just in disbelief the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when they leave, he's like goodbye, and he only says bye to his wife.
I know. Will Ferrell's like, I don't think he hurt me, and he's like, and he keeps saying bye. Yeah. He's like, bye, Sheila. Yeah. All that is great. Honestly, Will Ferrell's remarks are the best, where he's just like, oh, that's the old ball and chain, He's like, let's be honest, she's average. She's not hot.
Well, and then she's like, yeah, I didn't have time to change. And he's like, I know. You look terrible.
I know. So the stuff he says to her is so good.
And that's peak Will Ferrell. Being able to be like so straight faced and say the most ridiculous things.
Yep. Yep. And I like how they play into his nerdiness too. Mm-hmm. Like, even that small scene where he's like, oh, I did this in iMovie, or what does he say? You did this little, then he keeps talking about his apps, which obviously the one plays into the plot later, which I thought was a great thing too. But like, just, he's just really nerdy about technology too and everything. And face back.
Yes. And then along those lines, like then finding out the backstory of him being a pimp, which is also great.
Gator.
So I like that the also, like the guy's not trying to take over the world. That the main bad guy.
Yes,
he's just doing a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, it's just all tied to money, which is like way more realistic. Yeah. So that's a good point. They're not making it over the top. Like at least all that, and like the things that the bad guy like is trying to achieve is like that's normal, kind of stuff that someone like him would do. That actor too. I don't know if you mentioned him, but he's always great too.
I don't think because like he's not somebody I actually know the name either.
I don't either. But yeah, he was just in Joker 2. I think it was the most recent thing I saw him in. Very, very small scene, but he's amazing in Tropic Thunder and plenty of other things too. But yeah, he's done a lot of comedies. I wanted to just talk about two actors in particular in this. First of all, Michael Keaton is absolutely elite in this movie, and I think this is one of his best roles. Like, he has some of the funniest stuff. He does so well with that. He's done other comedic stuff, not a ton, but I just think he's perfect in this, and the stuff he says is incredible. And I love specifically all of it. Well, his second job, the Bed Bath & Beyond stuff, all that is great. But then also all the TLC references that he says throughout is so good.
Yeah, he does have some good lines.
And just throwing them organically into sentences. Yeah. Oh, and the other one is Ray Stevenson. Rest in peace to him, because he died not too long ago. But Balin in Ahsoka. But he's great in this too, and great in other things as well. But yeah, he was great in this too. But honestly, the character he played in Ahsoka was so good.
Yeah,
and I'm wondering they're gonna have to recast him. I wonder what they're gonna do for the next season.
Yeah,
but
it's coming though.
Yeah, I thought it'd be this year. I think it's next year, unfortunately.
Yeah. I love the is it ballet? What is the other thing? He like different things that Mark Wahlberg's character learned ironically to make fun of people.
To make fun of people,
and of course, the reveal is the ballet, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, with his girlfriend.
His footwork.
Yeah. What is the other thing? Yeah, there was something else he
mentions he learned as well. But and she's another
it's
one.
Like it's like Shakespeare or something. No, not Shakespeare. It's like some other type of.
I was just saying that's another actress. She looked familiar, but I didn't know who she
does. Yeah.
No, I've seen her in something.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's some kind of like specific language or dialogue, I think it is, that he talks about. So with him and Will Ferrell specifically, I think that's also probably just some of the other best moments in this film is just their banter back and forth. Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, especially when they're in the office. That is some of the best moments. I even wrote down. I won't say it all because I didn't realize how long it was. But Will Ferrell's monologue in the beginning in the office is incredible. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's just the one where he starts off. He's like, okay, a lion swimming in the ocean, lions don't like water. And then he just goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah, with the trout, the salmon, trout, some fish. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 800-pound tuna.
Tuna, that's what it is, tuna.
My favorite little thing as he's going through that whole monologue, right in the middle of it, he's like, you find yourself in the middle of the ocean, and then he's like, I'm assuming it's off the coast of South Africa. It's just like little things like
the
that.
lines.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, I love how he's like, yeah, that's not how you thought it was going to go. How is it?
Yes. Yeah. You just lost at your own game. You're outgunned and outmanned. That's how he ends it. And then he's like, yeah, how'd you think that went? Yeah, so I just love their, and then of course, like, which is actually part of that scene too, like just the desk pop.
Yes. That they trick him into that, yeah.
Yep.
Really, the Bed Bath Beyond shootout scene was this.
Wait, shootout scene at Bed Bath & Beyond?
Yeah.
What scene are you talking about?
Shout out. Oh, I got my notes mixed up here. Sorry.
Well, there is a shootout, yeah, which I'm trying to remember, where is it that they do a shootout? I don't know. There's a shootout though. I know what you're talking about. But
I thought it was at
I don't remember it being at Bed Bath. I mean, there is a great scene at Bed Bath & Beyond where they go to the chief when he's at work at Bed Bath & Beyond and like consult him about something.
Yeah.
Which is great. But that scene, that's like one of the ones I was talking about. So like the beginning of that scene where Michael Keaton is like kind of coaching and like pep talking all of his crew at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yes, great.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I got the shootout, like probably got mixed.
Okay.
Like I said, I was throwing these notes together last minute.
No, that's cool.
It's a lot, like really it's the last notes of like in like the just story point things other than the post credit or the credit stuff.
Yeah.
Like the montage of infographics of just real life Ponzi schemes.
Yeah, that was cool.
Is crazy. Like,
oh yeah.
It was a clever thing, and like,
and to not do the
outtakes. Doing something like that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, it is.
But
in general, so that's what we're championing. Just do something with over the credits. It doesn't have to necessarily be outtakes.
But outtakes is an easy win.
Oh, yeah.
It's an easy win.
Yes.
You anything else before?
Yeah, just two other small things. Kind of mentioned up top, but I just love how pretty much every hot woman in this movie is in love with Alan.
Because even like the Brazilian, I think she's Brazilian. Like they say she's Brazilian. It's like it's like with the bad guys that like keep taking the.
Yep.
And she's even like.
She's like apologizing to him because she has to like sedate him. Yeah. There's so many lines that I still also with this movie just quote randomly, like anytime I have water with anything in it and I'll drink it, I'm like, the cucumber accents the water in such a way. That's one. And that's a great scene where you're mentioning where he keeps bribing them. He's like, and they go to the Knicks game. What else do? They do some music thing. Jersey Boys. Jersey Boys. Yeah. All that is great too. But, and yeah, the scene when they go to his ex's house and her husband, another one of my favorites is when he yells, Christina, you come to my house, you get my wife's name right. Christina. So good. Yeah, he's great. One thing I forgot is like when they were leaving that, it's like they're like 20 miles down the road and he's still running after them. Like they're like parked talking and then he's still running at them.
Both of them. She was behind him.
That's right. Yeah. And then my last thing is just one more thing to gush about Michael Keaton, because I just think he's incredible in this, is one of the other funniest moments that gets me every time is at the funeral where he whisper yells at the squad at the funeral.
Right, because they start fighting.
Yeah, and he's like, what's going on here? And he's just like, just the way he does that delivery of that whole thing, it's just incredible. But
nice.
Yeah, I think that's That's the main. Yeah, that's my main news.
Cool. Well, we get into my cinematography notes.
Yeah, I'm curious. You have
just the lighting, like often is more like a moody, naturalistic police drama kind of.
Oh yeah,
right, and slash like kind of action-y in there, but like it's got a very different feel than like you wouldn't expect in a comedy.
But then the actual action scenes, lighting's different also, right?
Well, I'm talking about in general, like that's like
the whole thing.
That stuff. Now, there's some stuff because like the lighting in the precinct is like really bad, like just to make it feel like it's bad office desk, like just like bad fluorescent lighting,
but intentionally bad, like it's supposed to be like that for the office,
just to make it feel. We talked about like just the action in general being like kind of like it's like a giant action movie and just kind of ridiculous and over the top.
Yeah, but like we mentioned, done really well though.
Yeah, and then like it kind of like parodying almost to like Michael Bay or some of those other that like do over the top stuff in their movies, but doing it because they think it's cool. And this is like doing it to be like ironic of it, you know?
Yeah,
just funny because they got that super slow mo and lens flares and stuff mixed in there.
Oh yeah, I have that in my note. And maybe this is the shootout scene because I have a note about the shootout scene in the skyscraper at the end in slow mo. Oh yeah, when they have the huge meeting.
Yeah.
That's the one I was mentioning that like that was shot really in a cool way. So I don't know, maybe is that the one you're talking about? Because that's like near the end. It's like all of them are coming together for a meeting, and there's yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, because Icky Thump by the White Stripes plays, which is a great song.
They do a good job of like really taking Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg's characters and, you know, kind of framing them in nice two shots that like kind of have some symmetry to them, but always showing like they're very different people. Like there was a couple of those, like, and then just so much slow motion. It just had a note like so much slow motion because again, over the topness of these things that are kind of already over, especially at the time. I feel like we've gotten away from it now, but like in 2010 or the 2000s is probably the best way to say, because, you know, stuff leading up to even to this point when this movie was made, the overuse of slow-mo and things, because The Matrix basically kicked that off. Yeah.
Well, it's like with a lot of trends in film, I know you've talked about this a lot, it's like whenever it becomes like easier to do, then it's like normally, then it gets overused. So I bet like this was the time after The Matrix when it started to get easier to do slow-mo.
10 years later.
Right.
Because The Matrix is 99.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but that's what kicked it off of doing this like super slow-mo. Of course, they had those fancy like camera.
That was
had a name for that.
Crazy achievement back in 99.
It was a technical achievement.
Yeah.
And they invented the way to do it. Now people would fake it and try to like mimic the feel. But the crazy thing is like, it wasn't too long either. I mean, maybe, but like there was definitely a point where you could do those with just a bunch of GoPros. Like there was a way to do it. Probably about that by that time, 2010, something like that. But yeah, I bet nowadays it's probably really easy to set something up like that. But that there's just, I thought those are the kind of things that the subtleness of that, like an average viewer might not pay attention, but like, you know, to me it's like, but it's funny because it's it's like, oh, this is intentionally being overused. Yeah. Anyway,
I have just one more note for cinematography, and I want to ask you about it. Because I'm curious, how do they do these type of scenes where they go out drinking? You know what scene I'm talking about? And it's like it's in the bar, and it's like everyone's frozen, like it's like pause, but then the camera's swooping around you know what I'm talking about? Like how realistically, like how do you do that kind of technique? Because that also seemed like something that was done a little bit more around this time in 2010.
Because that's what that Matrix effect was. It just the camera would move around the person and like they would freeze and spot.
Okay.
Right? It would move around. So it's kind of like building off of that.
Yeah.
Honestly, the simplest way to do it, and normally works pretty well, just have everyone stop moving. And then you
try to be as still as possible.
And then you have like, you build like ways to, with like fishing line or something, like, allow things to like would be midair, like to hold there.
Gotcha.
So you kind of have like practical ways to do that. And then, in a film, especially like this, then they would go in and paint those out in post. But yeah, I've seen people do it, and there was even a trend for a while doing something like that on, like on social media, and like you just use your phone and just have it's just everyone's moving, and then just like you count down like off camera, and then just like have them freeze, and then you keep moving the camera.
Yeah,
and it honestly works, and it's not that hard to do, like in that way, as long as everyone's hold still for that bit.
Yeah, okay, well, that's probably how they did it. Although this was the only moment where I noticed like CG. So some of that stuff in midair. And there was like beer flying and like, that all looked like CG. Mm-hmm. But in general, though, to the point of like what you're saying, the action parts of this movie look really good. Like, not really much noticeable CG at all, which means that, because we always talk about there's probably a lot more than you realize. And so it's done really well.
Yeah. Right. I'm sure they did what they could practically, but then, had to.
There's still a lot of like car chase stuff and like cars flipping over, explosions. Like a lot of that stuff looked great and real, and that's what I imagine. Stuff like that is like ups the budget a lot.
Yes, for sure. You got anything else in that?
Nope.
Well, it's about music and the score. Any notes on there?
No, there's not really much score at all.
Yeah.
It's mainly songs, needle drops.
Which is what most of these have been. Yeah.
Yeah. There was only one point I really noticed it, and it was near the beginning. I think when it was still The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson. And I did notice at least one of the cues there. I did notice that this was like, it started to feel more like a modern action score to me. I was like, okay, so we're kind of in that, which is normally around this
probably
time.
Intentional to kind of add to the parodiness of those scenes.
Yeah, but I really want to go back to this guy, this composer's, some of his other films that I know I have seen, but not in a while, but like focus on the score more, because some of these are like incredible movies that I know, like Eternal Sunshine I mentioned. That score I remember a lot because it's really great. But Hard Eight and Magnolia and Punch Drunk Love are the other three, which are Paul Thomas Anderson early movies. That's something I kind of want to go back to and really focus on the score. But hey, maybe that's a good choice for next director.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, PTA. Well, his new movie is going to be. Yeah. This would kind of be a good time to maybe do that. Does that have a date? One Battle After, or whatever it's called? Well, I know you saw it at CinemaCon.
I saw a extended clip with DiCaprio and stuff. It looked great. Awesome. You got Benicio del Toro and DiCaprio, right?
Yeah.
Come on, you can't really.
Also, he's an incredible director. I don't know how many of his movies you've seen, or if you're.
I don't think I've seen that many, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, he's pretty high up at this point now. Like, that's why this movie is such a big deal. Besides the cast, it's just because the kind of the level he's at now as a director. Cool. So yeah, nothing really on score. So.
All right. Themes and messages. You got anything?
You gotta let yourself be a peacock. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I put the real heroes are often overlooked, and they're not the loudest, the violent, or the flashiest.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is true to life. I think, there's so many, police officers, firemen, whatever, all the
A lot in the medical field as well.
Just doing their job and saving lives.
Yeah.
And
they're a lot of times overlooked. Yeah.
And putting their own lives in danger a lot of times too. So
yeah.
Shout out to you guys that do all that. And
yes.
Thank you for your service.
Yep.
Including obviously military people too. But
mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's look at a little trivia then.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very curious about this.
All right.
What we got?
The idea of Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg teaming up started in 2007 at the Academy Awards, where Will Ferrell was viciously insulting other actors as part of the bit, but then he was extremely polite to Mark Wahlberg.
Okay.
Alan's rant about lions and tuna was completely improvised by Will Ferrell. That's amazing.
That is amazing. I thought he had to memorize all that because it was very specific. Shout out to Will Ferrell. That's awesome.
Yeah. The narrator, we forgot to mention.
Oh, yeah.
The narrator is Ice-T.
Yes. I didn't.
Uncredited.
That. Yeah.
There's a quick cut to skyline, and even though it's supposed to be New York City, it's an obvious Boston skyline.
Oh,
little.
Gotcha.
Most of the people on the wall. There was a traffic enforcers of the month, and there was all the. It was basically a bunch of the graphics and location department, the graphics animators, and
nice.
The role for the detective Highsmith was originally written for Michael Chiklis.
Chiklis.
Yeah. Who's that?
He's
okay.
He's from The Shield.
Yeah, the bald guy.
Yeah. He's in a lot of stuff. Yeah.
However, when offered the part, he turned it down to avoid typecasting.
Yeah. Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff like that. Can't believe I didn't recognize Brooke Shields.
Yeah. One of the co-producers appears as the hot dog guy, Josh Church.
That guy was great. He's like, free hot dogs, no drinks. Can't do it.
It says Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell made cameo appearances in a WWD Raw in 1993 to promote the film. In 1993? The film came out in 2010? That doesn't make sense.
No, probably to promote.
It says to promote the film, but I mean, it can't be right.
I don't know.
This is in the movie 1993, A Night of the Roxbury's, Ava Mendez appears as a bridesmaid that Will Ferrell couldn't stop staring at. So,
yeah.
Brooke Shields sitting next to Will Ferrell at the basketball game. She's the one who grabs him and says, "Call me," when he leaves.
Yes. There's a few other people there. At the basketball game.
She's married to the guy, Chris Hinchy, who is the co-writer of the film.
Oh, so good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, who were the other people that were sitting there?
Well, Tracy Morgan was next to her, next on the other side of, like, it was like her and Tracy Morgan and then Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. The front of the Trump Tower is what they crashed into.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. Was it... So some of it was filmed in New York? I mean, you said like a Boston skyline.
Yeah. The front of the New York Trump Tower is featured in the opening sequence.
Yeah.
Donald Trump always granted permission to film on his properties on the condition that he is given a cameo. He filmed a brief appearance as a TV commentator for his film, but Adam McKay cut it because I would have felt gross every time I watched it. Coincidentally, Trump filmed another cameo that same year that was also cut in Wall Street, The Money Never Sleeps.
Oh.
These cameos were in his last film roles before his election.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. This was the first film, Adam McKay film, that was not produced by Judd Apatow. But
he was still involved. I thought I saw him in the credits though. Involved in some way though. Judd Apatow. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, any final thoughts?
No, just
go watch it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, go watch it. I think it's underrated.
If you have seen it and it's been a while, go watch it again.
Yeah, I think it's underrated of his movies.
All right, so our next film, Anchorman 2.
Anchorman 2, yeah.
I think I saw this.
I think I have seen it, but like once.
It was one time.
Yeah, this will be interesting to.
Yeah, because I don't have fond memories of it.
No, it's. Yeah, I can't imagine it was as good as the first one.
All right, well,
surprising he went back to it though.
It's first attempt of a sequel right here. So we'll talk about that next week. But in the meantime, let us know what you guys have your thoughts about the other guys or anything else we've talked about in recent episodes. You know, if you'd like to let us know, you can write in and give us an email at feedback@screentimepod.com or comment on YouTube or one of the social platforms. You can follow, like/subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Yes.
And if you'd like to follow either one of us on Instagram, I'm at JYoungBar.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
All right. Catch you guys next time.